so messed up, don't ignore the signs. We've had enough of the whole damn thing that we got going. You hold those strings without me knowing. Why do I?
Alright. Looks like stream is starting, everything works fine.
Nice.
Just double check Jupiter if you can kinda, you know, whatever, talk about something. I don't know. I just wanna
Sure.
see if people can actually hear you in my stream.
Hey guys, this is audio. If you could hear me, everyone, go ahead and type in "Hi Jupiter" and give me a hug. I like hugs. Hugs are nice. What I don't like is black coffee and wine that tastes like the bottom of a shoe. That's for sure.
Alright guys, can anybody tell me if you just heard Jupiter? Come on, wait. Anybody?
I'll also hop in and listen to your stream too.
So can you can hear him, right guys?
Well, if they didn't put hugs
Okay, yes, they
in
can.
the chat, then
They can. Good. Because I wasn't sure if I set it up right, so it looks like it's fine working now. Really good. Excited. So when the other people are actually gonna join us, then we're gonna start talking about stuff.
Hey guys, hey, how's it going? Pickles chat. So I think Ark is still trying to join. Did you manage to get the link, Ark? I mean, I think you're already in this Discord, right? Oh, do you want to join us in the stream voice channel?
Kevin, no, it's not a Jupiter Rain. It's the Unkept Jupiter
I
from
can hear you,
PS4.
but no, you're not in the Discord voice channel. You gotta hop in there. Okay, what's your Discord? I'll just DM it to you. Feel free to invite anyone from your stream, Pickle, if they want to join the conversation as well.
Oh, they can join conversation right here, so if they want to talk. If they're gonna, I'm pretty sure they have ideas and stuff. So what exactly are we talking about today? I forgot already.
So today's discussion is on class variety. I'm hoping to get maybe some people from Xbox, because I guess the different points of views are going to be from the different, I guess, platforms. So like PCs, where PCs at right now, PlayStation, and then Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
And then just talking about class variety, and not just class variety as in meta, like including, you know, the differences in, you know, between the different topics of the class. So like your tank classes, like difference in the 3 different tank classes and the 3 different support classes, things like that.
I thought we were gonna talk about something else, but okay.
Well, what did you think we were going to talk about? Because we can talk about that too. We got a whole hour to do this, so.
Oh shit, that was fast.
And so remember what?
Oh wow. Killed that boss just with one. Okay. Didn't expect that. Oh, come on. Toxic Wasteland? Not doing it. Like, I don't even know why the hell they brought those 2 missions back to the group missions directives. It's like, are you kidding me? people want to do it for whatever stuff they want to do it, they can just go into adventure list and launch it that way. What am I doing? Operation.
Okay. What's capitalized and what's not capitalized there? Oh, never mind. There's the A. Jupiter Rain, or is this another Jupiter? Yeah, no, I'm Unkept Jupiter, not Jupiter Rain.
I have a question. How much is the buff from defense when wounded? Because on PS4 it doesn't tell you. I don't think it tells on PC here as well. Where's that defense when wounded?
Hello there, drone.
Well, let's see. It depends on how much stat you have. So it says for 12 seconds in my case, because I do have this artifact gives me 6 defense when wounded, and I don't even know where else it comes from. Oh, defense when wounded here from these gems. Hey drone X1, welcome back.
Bam. Alright. Now I see what you're doing better. Okay. Alright. Make sure your settings allow me to send you invites.
Oh, you mean like exact amount of defense? That's, you know, that's a really good... Nobody knows, I guess. It's a possibility. Yeah, where's that? Could be general defense multiplies by whatever. I don't think anybody knows. I don't really, actually never bothered even to ask about it. Taking damage may increase your defense. For how much? Who knows? I think only the developer's gonna know about it, or wherever we can make that stat. Yeah, there's a lot of things like we have no idea how much it gives. No, he means the substat. Probably, yeah. Well, I do have 2 right here, so that's why I have for 12 seconds. Not that I really needed it for my well, but like regular DPS setup. The issue with death, yeah, when it only works if you take damage. So if you're good with shield rotation, barely applied. Yeah, that's true. But I guess, yeah, that's kind of gonna be a really good stat for, you know, maybe low rank players who, you know, wants to be part of like a raid, and you know, like, you know, I can try to tank, right? And maybe they're not as strong as other person, but that definitely might help actually a lot for slightly lower ranks players who can keep up with the shields and they take a pretty good damage from the boss. Oh.
Okay. So we're just getting started here. So I guess we'll go ahead and I guess we'll begin. I guess more people will join later on, and then we can just interact with chat for a bit as well.
So it's just gonna start 2 of us for now.
Yeah, we'll just start. I don't want to, wait for too much longer, I guess.
All right, yeah, that's fine.
Because at least we have 2 views here, right? PS4 and PC. So today's topic, as we said, was class variety in Skyforge, and then we'll cover a variety of other topics as well. If you want to get into other things, Pickle, it's up to you.
Why will it have 1 hour?
What was that?
Why we only have 1 hour?
Well, I mean, we can extend it. It's just for like a podcast, I wouldn't want it to be for too long, the podcast version, but we can still hang out and talk for the stream. But our video is going to be on that topic, and then after that, we can try and do several different topics today if you want.
We can cover a few stuff, yeah. A few more stuff. I mean, there's not a lot of things you can talk about the classes.
Yeah. I don't know what art is. He's having some technical issues. Anyway, so I guess since you started last time, Pickle, I guess I'll start for this topic. So my point of view from a PS4 standpoint. My name's Unkept Jupiter. I've been playing Skyforge since it launched on console, and I've recently started up on PC since I just got a new PC. So not too far on PC just yet. Still trying to do my Yellow Brick Road and everything. And over the years, it seemed that when the classes first come out, they're pretty much broken, right? Very, very strong. It seems like a lot of their DPS is just up the wazoo for no particular reason, and it doesn't seem like the other classes are able to really keep up with them after they've launched, right? But there are still niche things I feel that people do on PS4. For instance, I mean there are, as far as the meta goes, it's pretty much when the new class comes out, that's the class that you're typically going to be seeing a lot. But then you also have some of the older classes that, in my opinion, are still pretty good, pretty meta. In PS4, that's still the Outlaw, which was sort of the first class that was just busted, right? PS4 for a while was basically, if you don't play Outlaw, don't join my party for a little while there, and then it sort of changed over to a mix of some of the other classes. I know that Alchemist is still very powerful, and I see alchemists that have sort of like a boss burning style to them.
Where?
And on PS4.
Oh, still on PS1. Oh, shoot, guys.
Yeah.
You guys need to catch up to PC and stop being lazy, because
yeah.
we had the same thing on the PC as well at some point, and obviously when they start increasing new generations and then all the scaling stuff,
yeah, and this was, I mean, like, it's not as prominent now as it used to be, because I mean the meta has changed quite drastically. I mean when Revenant came out, it was basically only Revenants. I know Necromancers are still really strong on PS4, and then Grovewalker came out, and that became its own thing for a while, and now we have Firestarters, which is just like they do so much damage, and it's in a huge area, and I don't understand why they do that much damage. I mean, literally in PvP, there's I don't know what ability it's called because I'm not finished leveling up my fighter starter, but it's just this gigantic AoE that one-shots you if you step anywhere near it. So, like, there's all these different things that I think they're not really good to have in the game. There's several classes on PS4 at least. Oh, is that Ark?
Neo.
Oh, it's Neo. Hey, dude.
Hey man.
Oh, Jesus Christ. My God. Gonna lower his volume.
A nuke.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's been over the years, but for what it's looking like now, pretty much, there's the classes that have been previously strong. It feels like they haven't really been nerfed very much. The only problem is that all of the newer classes are just so much more prominent because they're stronger. They're just stronger than any of the other classes, and so, and then on top of that, all the classes that were pretty much weak since the start, it feels like they really aren't getting any love from any buffs or anything. Like I'm not seeing, after any of the balances, like I'm not seeing Slayer go anywhere. I'm not seeing.
What about now?
I'm not seeing Cryomancer move at all. Knight's main problem is all the animation glitches that they have, and stuff like that. Archer is still massively rarely used at all on PS4, at least. And I mean, there's plenty of reasons why I would assume, but as far as individual variety, right? It definitely feels like each of the classes have their own playstyle, which is great. The main problem, I would say, is that sure you have a different playstyle, but is it worth doing that class over another class? Is that playstyle particularly something that you would rather have on your team to do whatever it is, or would you rather have something that just does more damage, or like does the same job but easier, more frequently, and better? Which is typically the problem in pretty much every single MMO that's out there.
Yeah.
I don't think any other MMO has this many classes to begin with. Nor is their balance really any better in the same coin, So, I would say that the variety on PS4 from, excluding the brokenness of all the new classes, I would say it's good. I would like to see a little more focus on the classes that just really haven't had any good buffs to them. Some of the classes, they just feel like you're doing a lot, but you're not getting a lot back. Like specifically the Slayer's class, you have like one simple combo. Everything else is like you have to do 3 or 4 things to actually get DPS out of it.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
well,
you have the Revenant standing there.
It's a complex rotation.
Yeah, it's a complex rotation versus the Revenant, which is like 2 buttons, and
Well,
you're
that's
doing
getting
more
nerfed too,
damage.
because if you've seen the patch notes, though, they were nerfing it anyways. Like last patch, or they nerfed it slaughter damage by 20%. Patches before that, they nerfed death stewards. Just
Oh,
they
they
changed the XY values and stuff. I think
they've
that
been
was
nerfing
also nerfed.
stuff. They've been nerfing those revenants, fire starters, sound weavers like alchemist and necroman, like so many classes over and over and over. Like how far you can nerf the damn class? Like just remove the from the damn game. Like why would you need that class anyway if you keep nerfing it?
Yeah.
I
For
Jesus.
think that
example, Soundweaver healing, that's been halved. Like, why do you even need Soundweaver right now? Because the healing is 1.5 instead of 3. Like, that's pretty useless.
Yeah, but I did
Just
talk.
better delete
Yeah, I did talk
healing.
about the nerf parts yesterday on my stream that they do in the wrong way. I mean, obviously it could have just done it, that as a Grow Walker has like ultimate, it says increasing health by 150%, and in PvP it's 100%. So like, why wouldn't
yeah,
you just do something like that for the abilities? And Nadi Senpai said last time yesterday when I was streaming, he said that it's extra coding that you have to add to it, and I'm like, well, you already have done it once, right? On certain classes, it's there. Apply the same code, whatever, maybe a couple of symbols here and there. I know it's not easy. I know it's it needs to be a lot of work, but that's what you're supposed to do when you freaking
yeah,
developing
When
the
you're
damn
being paid
game.
that's
for
a
it.
video game.
Like you
Use
can't
these
just like
algorithms to make code.
yeah, you can't just like see it like, oh, you know what? I'm just gonna do this because it's just easy for me. I don't give a shit about other stuff.
That's
Like
awesome.
freaking get paid for it, so bust your ass, okay?
Yeah,
Yeah, people talking about the outlaw right now bugs that happen in a lot on PS4. You know what, guys? Uh, it's not just happening on PS4, okay? The outlaw one-shot thing right now works everywhere. I'm not sure about Xbox. I don't know. I don't know if there's any people from Xbox right now.
we have any
But
Xbox players. Can you confirm that the outlaw bug is still on Xbox?
I'm not sure if anybody here right now in my stream from Xbox. Still trying to figure out why my mic is so low. That's a really
Bad boy up.
well. I'm kind of looking at my streaming software when I'm talking. I mean, it kind of good, but I'm not sure if some people saying in my stream in the chat that my voice a little bit lower. I'm not sure.
Well, it sounds fine for me, even though yesterday's stream we couldn't hear you in general. On that aside, yeah, I do agree on the statement that basically when you're gonna do something to a class or have to add something or change some code, you're being paid to do that. You're receiving our money to actually do this. So
Yeah,
don't give me it takes us too much work, or it's a really small bug. It only happens to a few people. You're being paid to do this. You're
yeah,
receiving our money. So I expect at least some person that actually is gonna do this for us. Like for
yeah,
now, this outlaw bug is insane. I haven't tried it yet,
It
but
is. It is
currently,
insane. I can confirm it. It works on PC as well. And I actually I actually put the video together about it, so expect that video, guys, very very soon, because it's a fun. It's only like a small montage, not too crazy, I don't spend a lot of time right now to edit in videos, but doing my best to make it more presentable. But it does work on PC as well. I'm not sure if anybody from EU using it or not. I don't really care. People, we can use whatever they want. There is always going to be a consequences. So I did that thing just for the purpose of the video. So, and I know, as much as I know that my whole team, when we was doing that stuff, they like, Pickle, please don't post this video. Let us use this shit. We want to make the content past the kill distortions really quick. I mean, I get their part because our team is not the best. We're not clearing like, oh, just walk in, boom, it's done. No, we spend sometimes shitloads of hours in this one distortions because somebody keep screwing up, right? Somebody is not following the mechanics, and it's understandable. We're not perfect, but that's why, like, I understand their sides, that they saying that, let us use that, while we can, because the Gorgonites will come in, demons will be come in, so it's not gonna be easy, especially with my team as well. So it's not gonna be easy to do stuff because certain people, they still learning, they still in the process of understanding the mechanics, paying attention on the animations and stuff like that. So it's really hard. Like we spend the first time when we tried to do the C3, we spent about like three or 4 days for about 3 hours, and like the first 3 or 4 days we spent about 3 hours and we didn't complete it. And then so obviously, the PS4 whoever posted the video about that one shot, and I'm like, you know what, let's see if it works on PC. So it did.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and so I did one shot C3, and they like was so happy about it. And I'm like, guys, but it's going on YouTube anyways. I'm like, please, Pickle, don't do it, no. I'm like,
Yeah, I can
well,
understand that.
it will be fixed anyway. Somehow they will nerf it, they will change it something that it's not gonna work even in a god form. Because before, the first time, as far as I heard, from what I heard, that the first time the Gorgonite weapon came out, and whoever found out about that bug for the outlaw, the stacks was actually can go unlimited amount. So people was one shot in distortions, none got. And then Skyforge like, oh, you know what? This is a game breaking. We're gonna have to do something about it. So they kind of work it out then, and they cap the stacks to 100. So you can only get 100 stacks. But again, if you overclick the left clicks on when you already have 100 stacks, it can disappear. So there is a chance that those stacks will actually explode on its own. So you have to be really careful. You have to only use 5 left clicks in order to keep those stacks, and when you're ready to do the sure shot, you can do the sure shot. But it's, yeah, they can disappear if you overshot. If you did like maybe 8 or 9 left clicks, and it might disappear on you. So, but we'll see. It's definitely gonna get fixed anyway. We're just gonna have to wait what they're gonna do about it. I know there's some people who are talking about in Discord, oh, people gonna get banned. I don't think, Skyforge can afford to ban a lot of people. They might see the logs, I guess, and see who's doing it more often, give them just 1 or 2 days ban. I mean, but it's nothing. So, like, it's a just pointless ban with, like, because person just, oh, you know what, I'm just gonna take a break, go to the freaking bar, grab a beer, whatever, you hang out with something, family, friends, and then come back in 2 days and just start playing the game, do the same shit again. So
It's basically history repeating itself, because back then you could one-shot distortions if you just had everyone use Mordia, and if you proc Narian's hammer before, you could, yeah, just one-shot the boss. And I think that leads to where they saw the videos that were posted on Moridia one-shotting distortion, and they thought like, we have to nerf this because this is unbalanced, etc. Then Alki nerf because, yeah, last year you could one-shot Tolmonter with 1 slime. And yeah, I think, oh yeah, Zerg, not forget Zerg. Yeah, it got nerfed too, the initial burst in Reapers, because it was too overpowered compared to the rest. And yeah, now I think this weapon is next. It's obvious. They're gonna nerf it sooner or later. I think before Demons, or even before Gorgonite Invasion, because these invasions are more important than some Mechanoid invasion. Because, yeah, you don't have to, these stores are quite pointless. If you clear something in Gorgonites or Demons, you can boast about it.
Yeah, they definitely gonna either fix it in Gorgonites or Demons, because they know that those two invasions are the hardest ones to do. And you know, if people gonna use that outlaw bug, then you know, they're like, well, that's just not gonna work. I mean, it's still like in Demons, you know, you still have to follow the mechanics anyway, because there is a lot of like you know, invulnerability phases that you cannot simply bypass the shield. Yeah, but they definitely either somewhere maybe close to the end of the Gorgonite invasion, maybe in the middle of it, and or maybe like right before the demon comes in. So we'll see. And I'm still wondering what exactly they're gonna do about it. Like how low, like what I was thinking that they can just do, instead of like, for example, I'm just gonna pop the weapon and let's see to see. So for example, right here, the sure shot after the 20th mark, right? The sure shot deals 2% more damage for every stack. So 100 stacks, it should be about, what is it, 360, 400 additional damage, something like that. So they can only decrease that either to 0.5 or 1%, or they can again cap the stacks only, let's say, to 50 stacks. So you cannot go over 50 stacks. That possibly definitely gonna fix the, not to fix the problem, but it will eliminate, you know, those people who, you know, using that thing over and over and over again and one shot in everything. So that way, if they do that, then there will be no one shot no matter what you do, no matter how many buffs you drop and stuff. So.
But using Surf Shot is actually smarter, because if you have the Note of Vengeance, the silver note, you can use Surf Shot to deal extra damage, because the node syncs very well with the weapon.
What
in
nodes?
general.
In Atlas? Or
No, the nodes from the Elder God trees.
oh, yeah. Yeah, it's the additional 27% right there. So, oops.
So if you
Yeah.
use that extra damage on Surf Shot with the weapon, and then with like the max stacks, yeah, it's 100% gonna be a one shot.
Yeah, yeah. People even saying, like Lucas said, just yeah, they're probably gonna decrease the cap on stacks either 40 or 50. That way, it's not gonna give that much of a boost for the outlaw to one shot. It might still a pretty good damage. It might be, you know, maybe not like one shot, but for example, I don't know, like 30-40%. I mean, it's still gonna be pretty good. You can still use outlaw for some burst depending on what you're doing.
Yeah.
I think it's still
So,
useful in
Pulling us
F4
back into
because
sort of today's topic, because we can talk about glitches and stuff like that. You know,
Well,
also.
you started about talking classes, and we just kind of slightly moved to the outlaw bug. But
Yeah.
I heard what you said about the classes. I mean, the PS4 at the moment, yeah, it's old PC version, you know, what you guys have right now. Yes, you're slightly getting out there, you know, the higher your generation goes out, the boss's health increasing and stuff like that, damage from mobs and shit. But there is still part of that. It's still, you know, makes it more easier for you guys to do stuff compared to PC version. And speaking of classes, there is not much, you know, you can say about it. You know, bunch of classes are completely, you know, they use useless at the moment. The only thing what they're trying to do, yes, they're gonna use the Atlas to boost those classes for that particular invasion, so you can have fun with whatever Slayer for 2 months. Yeah, let's go, you know. But who cares about it? Just make that, you know, balance the classes. I was thinking, you know, if they would bring the old Atlas back, you know, not exactly the old one, but same principle, the foundation of it, and just, you know, make it permanent. That way, maybe somehow, you know, you can use those, you know, progressions in that Atlas to bring the classes back. But it's still not a solution to make the class balanced. And they have to actually boost the classes on its own. So they have to scale the classes that are very weak right now to the current, not invasion, but to the current system, you know, that happened in every new invasion. So that's what they need to do. And then after that, yes, you can maybe add additional stuff, the atlas and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's I'm not sure what they're gonna try to do it. There was survey at some point. They posted this survey, and then you answer the questions like, oh, from scale to 1 to 10, this class, how like strong or weak it is, you know, and just push like 1 or 2, or like I would probably push like -10 if there would be an option like that.
Yeah, I think that they
It's
could honestly
true.
do a little bit better at their polls and their questionnaires, because I don't feel like that really explains the problem with the class, or like, you know, like the outlaw glitch. We can say, oh well, the outlaw's really really strong. But if the glitch is the bug, that like if the strength is the bug to the class, and they take that out, we don't know where the class is going to sit after that, right? We don't know where, you know, if the entire meta for whatever class is completely dependent on something that's not supposed to happen, and they take that out, where's the class going to sit after that? You know, so there's not really too much we can tell them through those polls, other than, hey, this class just feels really strong. Then it's completely up to them to figure out, oh well, people are saying this class is too strong, regardless of the fact that the reason why it's strong is because it's glitch, you know. So hopefully, I think their polls could be a little bit better.
Yeah, Xbox is the same invasion should be right now, the mechanoid.
Yeah, but still, like an archer or a monk can still out DPS some meta classes, but the problem is that you require perfect performance and you need to know the class inside and out. For example, if you use a certain weapon on a class, it will change the whole playstyle. For example, on the demon weapon of archer, it's basically made for PvE
So you're
because you
saying,
buff the burn effect and you apply it to the boss, and all attacks, all abilities, etc. get like extra damage.
yeah, Generation 16, that's what he's talking about. They have Generation 16. So so Animes, you need to, first of all, what classes do you have to actually do it? Because usually, like, I can actually do solo as a sound waver, for example. I try to do Firestarter solo flagship under 7 minutes. It's probably doable, but it's really tough. But yeah, like Nicola said, that see if you can do 2 gods with somebody else, and then just run through the entire map really fast as you can. But also pick the class that fast movement, and you can you're able to kill staff faster, the mobs faster with that particular class. So that's what you need. You need the speed and really high damage in order to make that under 7 minutes. So if you have the sound waver, you can do it. If like for example, my setup right here. So if you have the just basic DPS setup with the stats I have, and you can use, like for example, like if you have like hyper engine, if you don't have it, still just keep this your higher DPS, the higher generation of the artifact. And what you can do, you can just go to the symbol section and switch this symbol right here. So whatever you are using before, just switch to the berserker mode, and the last one switch to the chain lightning. So it will make more you will hit more enemies with your impulse charges, which is your companion attack, and that way you will kill group of mobs really fast. So but if you cannot do it solo, ask somebody, go 2 people in the flagship, both of you go god right away from the start, the time you enter the mission, and just freaking run as fast as you can, kill everything as fast as you can.
Pretty much the same issues with the balancing of the classes.
Yeah, True. It's
So
on PS4 though. Some rotations are harder, some are easier. But how the game is right now, you cannot basically start the game, and your first class has to be Grove Walker. Why? Because you're first of all very weak, and we come back to the availability of the whole game in general.
mhm,
And you have to pick Grove Walker, otherwise you're just gonna die. Because I have to tell people that they can't pick their class they want to play. For example, if they want to play Berserker as first class, I have to say to them, yeah, you cannot play this class as first class because you will this will lead to a direct ticket to uninstalling the game because you cannot
mhm,
progress without Grove Walker right now.
yeah.
And I think that's a messed up system that you have to pick first Grove Walker first class. Otherwise, yeah, you cannot find.
Hey Cass, any tips for farming credits without Nightmare as I don't have it yet? Also, what should I spend for the... sorry, I have to mute myself. Cass, so to answer your questions, if you're doing solo stuff, yes, like Nicholas, I just about to say that. Like Nicholas said, ROQUL Valley region, the best way to do the solo. It might take, you know, a little bit while. So the ROQUL Valley region, do that over and over again, complete all the quests there. Any tips of farming knowledge of enemies? From what I heard, people usually using, if you have the weapon, hold on, let me pop this ability right here, symbols. So if you have this weapon, Asterius' Glyph, and I would more of a prefer to do the mission, specific mission, where you have loads of enemies you can pull all together. It also depends on your strength. So if you can pull bunch of mobs, you know, together and hold them off and use their Asterius' Glyph to kill him, you would still gonna need to use your god form anyway in order to farm that way, but you can pretty much pick the mission. Usually people doing the group mission called, where is that? Aveston Tower. Where is that? Or it's not an oh no, Aveston Tower is not a group mission. What am I talking about? Where is it? Can't even. Is that a group mission? The hell? Where is that? Where is PTA, KLS, Fort, IC? Wait a minute, am I blind? Where's the stupid Aveston Tower mission? I can't find it. Oh, right here. So it's a squad mission. If you have the Asterius' Glyph, then it's definitely gonna work out very, very good for you. Cass, when do I unlock nightmares? When you unlock trials. Yeah, Nicola said, yeah, trial difficulty. So obviously in my case it's 310 for the trial missions, group missions 313. Yeah, so yeah, I found the Avesta Tower. I couldn't see it. Well, again, Cass, if you want to run nightmares, you don't have to do it yourself. So for example, obviously if my nightmare is already unlocked, but what you can do, if you have anybody else you know, maybe a friend, maybe it's a Penthen member, whatever, you know, people you run with more often, if they have the nightmares unlocked, they can actually invite you even if it's locked for you. So they can invite you to the nightmare mission if your nightmare is locked one. Best way to farm divine deeds and faith. To farm faith, it's gonna be the region. There is 2 regions you can do. One is veins. So one is veins for farming faith, which is pick up the followers. If your cathedral maxed already, then you will get faith right away from the picking up followers. So the veins are a little bit bigger region, and you have to find the followers where they are located, and then maybe make a map for yourself, and then just run circles around their entire region and pick up the followers. Another region, if you don't have a lot of people who are actually doing that, you can go to the HERDEN temple. It's a smaller region, and you can pick up followers right over there. Divine deeds, there is no really good farming way to do divine deeds. Usually just run missions as a god. If you don't have the catch-up system in your directives, then you just have to run missions in your god form. Any tips on what should I be focusing? I'm rank 258, working on my gear, mainly the top row of jewelry, and get Atlas as my gems are done, but at the moment I'm just spamming squads. Yes, Alan, it is true to turn divine deeds to the cognition, but you need to have the scroll of enlightenment if your aspect of mercy maxed, so you'll get weekly addicts, what they call. So if I'm opening here, aspect of mercy, you need to have gold symbol from aspect of mercy, and then weekly you get 10 of this random addicts, which they can give you scroll of enlightenment, persistent elixir, rune of time, fluid of incarnation. And this is a scroll of enlightenment, converts 1000 points of divine deeds to 500 points of cognition. But any tips for Cass? 258, working on my gear. There is not a lot of things you can do. Just do your daily directives, maybe farm credits, upgrade your cathedral if you still need to, upgrade your tower of knowledge if you need to. But it's more of a it's everything connected, Cass, so you have to farm resources. If you don't have it, then use those resources to do the upgrades for whatever needs to be done. Also, what should I spend my 38 argent, 42,000 argents? You can, yes, you can, maybe buy the weapon from the offer of the day. Whatever the often classes you usually play, so that they're definitely gonna help you out a little bit. But in general, usually people using the argents as well for the king ransom, but they only using the argents for the king ransom if there is a coins you get, because they don't do king ransom all the time with the coins, so you have to wait for the king ransom when the coins are available, and the shop where you can exchange those coins will be in the park. So that would be another way to spend your argents on and stuff like that. So I guess you can maybe, I wouldn't recommend buying Victor medals for argents even on sale. It's just simply not worth it. Spend that amount of money for just 30,000. Yeah, just don't do it. For now, I would say, just keep saving, maybe get the weapon for your main class that you're playing, stuff like that. I guess I'm gonna do the Discord back again.
For example, if you have the Phytonite weapon, the Hypnelum Ripping Torn, you never use destruction in any way, but now it has some sort of purpose, because when you use Gloomy Shadow and Dehydration, those mushrooms pop up out of the ground and you can detonate them with the destruction. Even though I like Miracle more than Hypnelum, because yeah, you need RNG, because those mushrooms can grow on the different side.
Rank 188. Could you explain what superiority really is? Superiority is just additional stat that, you know, as you see, it doesn't give you a lot of explanation on it. It says increases your bonus rank. It does increase your damage to all of the enemies, no matter if it's a Reapers, Demons, Oceanides, Gorgonite, whatever. It does increase your damage to all of the enemies. Not a lot, but it does give you that small bonus. Hard. I am 187 right now. What should I focus on? Same thing, like I said to Chaos, you know, upgrade your Tower of Knowledge, upgrade your Cathedral, upgrade your Stronghold. If you're still getting the catch-up items from directives, definitely use those first. You know, maybe upgrade the gear if you need to upgrade your stuff like that. You know, farm credits, knowledge of enemies, do the directives for your for the victor medals. You know, get the victor medals and then wait for the sale. Wait for the sale for the Hala trophies, and then get some trophies for your Stronghold if you don't have any, or some low levels. Same applies for Cathedral and Tower of Knowledge. But keep in mind, to upgrade the trophies for these buildings, look at the amount of might it gives you first, and then if you see this is the highest, let's say Stronghold is the highest, for example, then, for example, just as an example, and then Cathedral. Obviously Cathedral is actually higher, so if the Cathedral is higher compared to your Stronghold, obviously go for the Cathedral trophies. But always wait for the Hala trophy sale, because most of these trophies right now should be half off.
Several different ways of playing that you can maybe build them towards. Maybe it's not meta, but you know, you have that ability to switch around your stats and do things like that, which I think other games definitely miss out on. It's just, you know, some of them are glitched and some of them are just already on classes that are good at base. So I think there needs to be some sort of you know, answer to
Kiss, just keep running that stuff, because you need those Tower of Knowledge catch-up stuff. You need it. So just run them. Just run them and run them. Get all of them and upgrade your tower with those catch-up stuff. So you don't, you know, it's still good. It will allow you to get that might really, really fast. So yes, I know, you know, you would like to get maybe followers and stuff like that from, you know, like the missionary assignment, but just keep running that.
With its base playstyle, and you know, whatever way that is to get that to happen, you know, it would be hard to figure that out.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. For example, Crazy Pickle mentioned in his video a while ago that he said, like, when back in the day, if you just crossed the temple on a province, you would obtain the class. And if I don't know when, but it was a long time ago.
I think
later on they changed it. You need sparks and stuff.
they changed
So
that.
what they did.
Credits and then they changed it.
They changed that because they start making new classes, and the reason why, because a lot of people who already complete their province, you know, if they would add the temple to it, it's technically give you the class for free. And since it's a new class,
they don't want.
Yeah, exactly. But right now, the amount of sparks of transformation it requires, I think it's too big, especially for the default classes. They definitely need to decrease the amount for the default classes. Newer classes, they can still kill at 35k, you know, and they also have to consider, for example, how long the particular class, you know, how long ago it was released. For example, Revenant was the very first kind of a newish class that they released, and it was freaking long time ago. Just start decreasing amount of sparks on that class, and then just bring it to the same amount as a technically as a default class. It just
Yeah, or if you just cross that province and you're just gonna give the old classes for free and the new classes you still have to use sparks on, you know? So people are not stuck with one class because I think around when you finish the whole province, you can have 30k sparks, I think, and then you can do some group missions to get some extra, and and then you can get like Grove Walker. Well, that's the main thing people gonna get right now. But what if you just give those old classes to the players when they just cross the temple and give the still have to pay for the newer ones, because I think that's fair enough for the player, and they're not gonna lose any money on it because they still have to grind something for the newer classes.
Yeah, there's only so much you can get from like directives and as a drop. I mean, maybe they should just increase also the drop from the mobs while you do the missions. Increase the amount of Spark of Transformation from directive instead of 600. I don't know, give her whatever 1,000 or something like that.
Anyways, I'm not sure why they ever did some sort of survey on the players about class balancing and stuff, because it felt kind of pointless doing this, because these people are just gonna do what they want. Like the community on PC and EU and NA, and same goes for console, don't have like the biggest influence on the game. And even with this survey, we didn't see a lot of things back, or maybe they did bring something back or change something, but they didn't take the full sentence of it. Then they took some part out of it and then used it on a class. But in general, uh, class balancing is a meme, and I think a lot of people can agree with me on that. With the quote, "We should add content to the game," and when people start bursting out and laughing because, uh, yeah, content on Skyforge is yeah, it's almost non-existent, because what they recently put before they recently put toxic wasteland in the directives, and people are just not gonna do their directives anymore when they see toxic wasteland, because yeah, they're kind of bored and stuff. They don't want to sit back and use Grove Walker to get through this toxic take. Anyways, I'm getting off topic talking about maps while this is about classes and stuff. I'm sorry.
Oh, good. Appreciate the comment and the discussion that we're bringing to the table. It's good. It's good. Um, so we've touched on sort of the meta classes. We've touched on how they have been dealing with their classes and
I think you're quiet again, Jupiter.
testing.
There you go, a little bit better.
Yeah. So I guess I just repeat that. So we've touched on some of the balance, quote unquote balance that the classes have. The the change in playstyle with the legendary weapon. What else we touched on? The the way that they're quote unquote balancing the classes. So that now I'd like to move us over to and oh yeah, we've also talked about sort of maybe how they could fix some of this stuff. Whether or not they listen to us, it's up to them.
Yeah.
Which is the whole point of this, right? Even though they sort of do their own thing, we got to keep giving them the ability to hear us out. Otherwise, it's just not going to happen. And also for people who are interested in finding out more about the game, now they know there's, much like in every single game ever, an issue with balance.
Just in Skyforge, it's a little bit bigger problem. on my opinion at least.
Well, yeah, I think that it's always going to be part of the main three problems that games have, because it's always got to be something that needs to always be touched. It's got to be something that's always changed and mixed up. And one of the problems is that there aren't really any base classes that are getting a big enough change to where they're like, oh, well, now this base class is really powerful. We'll use this for this invasion, whatever. Which they've sort of added a system to bring that into effect. Maybe it's not as effective as everyone's hoping, but it's still there. Maybe they'll get better at manipulating that system as well. So talking more about the differences between each of the classes, which I think is probably going to be pretty quick for all of us. I mean, I think that it's really interesting how each of the classes play so differently from each other, which is great for a game. I know I've played a lot of MOBAs as well, and in the MOBAs, there's typically one playstyle for each type of, I guess, quote unquote class. It's more of roles, basically, where you've got your ADC, your tank, your mage, different things like that, and they all basically, quite literally, play exactly the same as their other roles counterparts. It's just how they do it is a little different, and it's not even a huge difference either. Like, let's say in Smite, you've got your hunters, which are the ADC classes, and the way that they do damage is they just auto attack, and that's it. That's how they do damage. Their auto attacks do the most damage out of any of the other classes, so they are heavily reliant on items that they buy, and so their strength is completely dependent on how strong the items are and whatever. So there's another layer of balancing for MOBAs to go through, right? Because they've got items that change, that come into meta and leave the meta depending on how strong the items themselves are. And then on top of that, you have to add in, okay, well, are these abilities that they use balanced as well? In League of Legends, there's an assassin called Rengar, and he brought a very, very toxic, super toxic meta to the game, because all he would have to do is jump on the enemy ADC and one-shot them.
You can also, guys, join my Discord as well if you wanted to. There is a link in the description. Should be for my Discord server, so if you want to join.
It wasn't like, oh, that's a hard thing for him to do. Quite literally, you press your ultimate, you walk into the lane, your character immediately jumps on them, and you get free uses of one of your abilities that does over 1,000 damage and ADC's max HP at level 18, I think, was the max level. It's been a while since I played. The max HP that they would typically have is just over 2,000 HP. And Rengar would be able to do almost 3,000 HP within 3 seconds of coming out of invisibility at level 6. So
I think that's very balanced, sarcastic.
Yeah, and so they had to completely rework it, and all that stuff, and that type of balancing, that type of toxicity within those other games, talking about class variety, I'm not actually seeing too much of that bustedness. I mean, I'm seeing one shots in PvP and stuff like that. Obviously, honor is a thing, and making sure that people who like to play PvP are given a PvP buff for doing this and gearing up for it, versus people that aren't. I don't necessarily agree with the one shots.
So, any tips on how to complete 9 event? Well, there is some people doing some trick but I'm assuming, you know, it's again not supposed to be like that. I'm not sure if it's intended or not. Not sure if it was reported or not, but pretty much, you know, you get to 2,990 intelligence data, and then you can do it both ways. You can either, for example, buy the extractors if you wanted to speed up your farming for the intelligence data. And then there is at some point, you know, you just, I don't know, it's really kind of too complicated. I asked some people who were actually doing that, and for me it kind of sounds a little bit complicated, and it just only happens to me once. But I might try to do just a video about it, and I guess, I don't know, if it's a bug they will fix it. If it's not a bug, it will stay the same, so who knows. But looks like they intended to fix and shit when I'm posting a video about it. Bot is broken. What's your platform, Cass? PC? Okay, I'll give you the role right now. Alright, there you go. It should be all set now. Alright. Where am I?
Any capitals?
Wait, what about the capital?
And then there should be numbers next to it.
Wait, my Discord in general.
Sorry, I'm talking to someone in my pantheon.
Ah, I see, I see.
I'm gonna invite him.
Yeah, I have to look into that bot for my Discord for the roles. I'm not sure it was working
Like,
perfectly
I
fine.
would like to see someone else that isn't as far as Crazy Pickle and I am, because you can obviously hear someone talking that beat the game and stuff and did some end game here and there. But if there's someone that's like less progress than we are, it would be more objective to do some podcasts about this subject.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need more people to join. Like, where's everybody else? Like,
Well, I'm trying to get people in here.
what people
Yeah,
like?
we're patient.
If people don't feel comfortable, then just don't say that you're gonna join and whatever, talk about stuff.
Did you accept my friend request there, Toxic?
Where?
I'm adding someone from my
Yeah.
pantheon.
Oh.
He's adding someone from his pantheon to this Discord and stuff.
So go to the top of it. Pending. You should have something. He's in a Discord. He's just figured it out. Okay, then can you message me on it?
Yeah, my bot got broken for giving roles. Like, what the hell? I have to use a different one, I guess, for that one. Double check. Ah, it's a possibility. Oh, I know probably why.
I don't think you've completely added me toxic. It doesn't say. It says that we're not a friend
The
yet.
reactor is stable. Keep moving.
Crazy Pickle, how do you live with yourself that I have to mute every Crazy Pickle channel almost because I'm receiving 3 pings for one video upload?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Yo, when you post a new video, I get like 3 pings, one from Twitter, one from Pickle Live, and one from new videos.
Yeah, I kind of like when I look at it, I'm like, oh shit, that looks weird. I gotta fucking change that shit. Well, that I don't know why it posting the live stream when I start streaming on YouTube as a video. That's kind of a weird part. I know it's supposed to post it when the stream is actually ended because I remember it didn't happen last time. So that's really weird. I have to freaking look into it. A lot of shit for some reason goes wrong all the time, so I don't know.
You can add me.
It's
My
all
username
okay.
is
I see
Unkept
this
Jupiter.
person
It's all
joined
lowercase,
actually.
and then the number is 0614. And Pickle, if anyone in your stream wants to join the Discord and hop in here,
They just asking a bunch of questions, you know, what to do, how to do this, how to do that. That's fine.
0614.
Oh man, I'm getting hungry.
Me too.
Need to grab some snack. Eat something. I'm gonna try to think if there's a way. Well, there is no way. I have to. Yeah, I have to work on my bots. Spend some time just for that. Set them up properly.
Yeah, it takes some time to fix your bots or have a good Discord server in general.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Seize over my computer screen because I had my hands full.
Yeah. I wanna play some Apex Legends. I'm gonna be terrible at it, but it's a fun game to play.
Legons.
What's that?
We'll play some Opix Legonzo.
Yeah, Apex Legends. I was kind of training yesterday a little bit, getting some my aiming back in place. I'm probably gonna have to. I have to also probably change my mouse for that as well because this mouse that I'm using, the shape of the mouse is okay for in general use, but if you're playing some FPS games, you need to have something that not as that.
What's going on, Emo Dark Heritage? Welcome to stream, dude. I'm doing pretty alright. We are having a bit of discussion here on about Skyforge. I think we pretty much covered a lot of things. I don't know if you guys have anything else that you want to touch on.
So what we come up with the conclusions for the classes.
Yeah, so we said that the classes are well made, excluding balance-wise. We like that the legendary weapons change up the playstyles of each of the classes. What we don't like is the nerfing. That's just seems to be all they can do to balance a class. And that's Toxic joining us. Welcome, dude.
I'm not sure how loud he's gonna be. I have to adjust his sound right away.
Alright, Toxic, go ahead
Say something, I'm giving up on you.
Should I figure how his mic's working? Let's see. I can tell you it is not working.
Oh, it's okay.
Not much. You're just a chill out season for you. I thought Skyforge has barely anything to it. It's got things, just not enough new things.
And speaking of
Things for you to do.
speaking of weapons, I mean, yes, they do give different variety for certain classes or playstyle, as you said, but they needs to be more not that I'm affordable. Not That's not the word I'm looking for. I think it's more of a fuck. What's that word?
You must have this weapon, otherwise this class isn't as functional as it would have been. For example, on Reaper Paladin, you're not gonna use this class to, if you, I mean, you're not gonna use this class, you're not gonna tank if you don't have the Reaper weapon for some PvE instances. If you, for
Well,
example, have,
it's you can still play if you're simply gonna be fully tank.
yeah,
Obviously, you're not
okay,
gonna have the healing part for the from the weapon, but it's still doable. What makes that a little bit harder is now in that case, if you don't have the weapon, support has to actually shield you a little bit often. Depends on your strength and how much damage you take. But yeah, keep going. Sorry.
yeah, I don't mean all instances, of course, but if you're the healing is some, you need that as a tank. If I mean, who doesn't want to have a tank that's can heal on itself? And if you have this weapon compared to others, it basically outclasses them because the other weapon is okay. The mechanoid weapon is okay for PvP if you want to decrease ultimate of you and your allies.
Mm-hmm.
The demon weapon is okay if you have a shield bolt, but then you have to make a shield bolt first. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
your Reaper weapon is, yeah, it
Okay.
outclasses them and is basically a must for certain maps. I'm not gonna say other weapons are bad, but
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay. Boys.
Hey,
So
Chris.
Nicholas says the issue with the legendary weapons is that each class has quote unquote the best weapon overall, instead of them being in the best situationally. So, which is definitely true.
yeah, I agree on that.
Yeah, yeah, and we can draw comparisons there with, like I gave the previous example of World of Warcraft. You've got all these classes, and then the legendary weapons in Skyforge is similar to the different play styles that each class has in WoW, and you've got one subclass that's beyond stronger than all the other two, the two other types of classes that
Mm-hmm.
class can be. Um, and I feel like it's just really difficult. I don't really think that it's a reachable goal to have everything be as switchable as we want it to be, because there's going to be something that's, more consistent damage wise or more tank wise, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But definitely,
It's
I see what you're saying, where it's definitely that is a problem, and it's definitely notable. I just don't think that it's a like I just don't think that we can expect from any game, not even from any game, not just Skyforge, um, because that's always a thing in games.
Oh, who? You know what? Who wants to see a small teaser about the video that I'm gonna post?
Yeah,
Can you
I'm
guys hear
okay
me?
with that.
Yeah, we can hear you, Toxic. Yeah.
Oh, oh, okay. So, right, that's good.
All right. Let's see if I
Yeah,
can.
for example, if you certain support weapons, of course you know them. For example, if you don't have MARE hidden rage or you don't have Jinx in a raid, you're basically gonna be useless because the burst relies on either you have Jinx or you have Quasar, and maybe if for mid rotation or if you get lucky on potent cocktail, you can use Scylla on burst, but then you have to be really lucky to time it right. But in general, without these weapons, these classes aren't what what they're just gonna do right now. And yeah, like I said on Paladin, these weapons outclass each other. I think every weapon has its own purpose on Alchemist because, well, now less because it has been nerfed since Oceanit. Like Yarm is quite useless. Floss is okay for shower for mid rotation every time. But Scylla is just the best weapon in PvE in general. And I think having that sort of imbalance between three weapons is, yeah, it's just not right to have one weapon that's completely garbage compared to the other one.
Marvin Devine.
And there's many other cases with the same problem. It goes for Cryomant. Like the class is becoming somewhat useful if you have the Titanite weapon because your whiteout is going to be a lot longer than when you're going to use Gorgonite weapon because the Gorgonite weapon is, yeah, useless. Useless since the beginning.
So maybe upping the usefulness of some of these items.
Yeah, I got the juice. Yeah, I got the juice.
Yeah, like I mentioned before in your streams, we don't want the classes to be the same damage. We just want them to be viable. And with this Atlas, they have some sort of viability, but
That's
not.
it. You're gonna have to wait, guys.
That's only for 2 months. For 2 months, this class is going to be good, and then you will not use this for some time again. When if the node is going to be for squads only or something, I don't know.
Which I think is actually a pretty interesting thing. You know, in a lot of the MMOs, usually your meta drastically changes after like one major update. You know, but in Skyforge it changes.
I will heart. I will upload it, but
You know,
I might gonna have to
changes.
adjust a few things for that video, so we'll see.
Is a good thing or is
Maybe
bad.
I'll add something
My
to
personal
it
opinion is that
from different
it
perspective, I would say.
different, and it doesn't exactly feel like it's wrong to have that. I actually think that it's a good thing, but I do want to ask Toxic here. Um, you are a returning player, is that correct? Toxic. Testing.
Alright, so my headset won't work in this. I have to use the mic through the laptop. Yes,
Sounds
I
right.
am.
All right. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and we're talking on a topic here. If you could actually mute my stream in your background, that would be beautiful. But we're talking about class viability in Skyforge, and I was wondering your point of view on sort of what you're seeing, your opinions on the variety of classes in Skyforge. Are they good? Is it bad? Is it too imbalanced for your taste? And what classes are you typically seeing the most of?
Right, throwing me under the bus. Alright, I like it. So I used to play this like, I don't know, a good year ago. And then I just kind of just stopped because it was feeling a little bit repetitive after a while. Um, Maybe it's just because I didn't know too much about it, but kind of throwing a different vibe out in the beginning. And then I got back on, about a couple weeks ago, to be honest. And ever since I've been back, it feels a little bit different. Certain classes are like the alphas, and certain classes are not even close to being where those alpha classes are, such as like the what is it? I'm horrible with the names. I'm gonna be honest. Also, it's
Doesn't
the
matter.
Grove Walker. It seems like that one's almost like the top three to have because it just does so much damage. I haven't really used all the classes, so I can't really explain about balance just because I haven't really used all of them, so I don't know which one is the best versus, the others. From the ones that I've used so far, most powerful ones would definitely have to be the Grove Walker and the was that the one that I asked you, Jupiter, about? Um, that is like the big axe, giant axe,
Revenant.
destroyed. Yeah, Batman and Grove Walker. Like the two alphas of the game. I do really, really like this game. I just need to learn a lot more about it because ever since I've met Jupiter and Arc, I've learned so much more than I've known about this game, and it's so much more in depth than I known.
Yeah, which is another thing that's really awesome about um, the classes is you've got not only your class playstyle, but then you add in these general symbols and how you play around them on top of that, which is its own level of playing the game and
Sure.
and brings in an additional you know layer to each class and also adds to their individuality as well. So there's a lot of good things I feel with the variety. Um, it's just unfortunate that the things that kind of definitely overshine sometimes. Um, but also, I feel like people have been so specific about getting things changed that we've gotten ourselves stuck in this negative banter uh, about Skyforge, and I don't think we take the time to uh, appreciate some of the good things that's right. So that's one of the things that I think is good of the class variety is the just the depth of its combat and the depth of each class and
You quiet again, man. What are you sitting like in the next room or something?
my my heads my it's not a headset, it's earphones. The mic is hanging down sometimes, so I gotta pull it up to my mouth.
Yeah.
Toxic, mute the stream. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yep.
please
That's
mute
what I
the
was
stream,
worrying
man.
about.
I can hear him talking double.
That's why I'm trying not to talk as loud so I can hear myself.
Hold
Yeah,
on,
I was thinking, why am I hearing double anyway?
I'm gonna try to figure this thing out so I can talk to you guys without hearing yourself. You know what I mean?
What do you use a headset or something?
Oh, the headset I have for the PlayStation is Bluetooth, and the
Oh.
USB only works onto the PlayStation because it
Stop the stream.
connects a certain way. I have like 7 other headsets and stuff, so I'm gonna try different things.
But it's
Each time
weird
you plug
because
it
it's
in,
an
make
aux
sure you go
cord,
to your
right?
user
Do you,
settings.
do you have like a headset with a mic for like for your for like cell phone, smartphone, whatever? Like you have to actually plug it in. If you have something like
Yeah,
that, that thing works like a charm. I was using that shit for a long
I'm
time.
using that right now.
I did. I had $80 Astros until my dog ate
Oh,
the cord, so
delicious.
SOL at that point with that.
Somebody's asking any info on Skyforge on PS5.
Yes. The info is that we don't have any info. There you go.
Yeah, it's too early, I think, for this. I mean, they just announcing, right, that the PS4 5 will be out soon or something. I'm not sure if it's out already.
It's technically out already. People have gotten like free PS5s.
Kind of like testing stuff and shit
Yeah. But I think they said it's like September, November, or something like that.
for the entire public. Yeah.
What about now?
Yeah, we still hear you. Yeah.
It sounds good.
Okay, that's
don't hear
still
any
the mic for the.
anyways, I still want to talk about the Atlas node.
Okay.
Still, something about it. You said like the meta is changing because of the Atlas, like some classes get more
Alright,
powerful,
next
etc.
step.
And what I think is when you're using certain classes
Toxic,
or
you,
like
you
one
can
class
mute
Alright.
your mic.
specific.
Alright, hold on,
Mute
hold
your
on.
mic until we ask you to talk.
What
Just hold out.
what you can do if you go to the Discord, right?
Yeah.
Go to voice and video, and then
And
if you're
put the
using
decibels higher.
if you're using the voice activity just when it picks up your voice, remove the automatic, disable the automatic, and put that green bar to the right, so that way it will not gonna pick up any outside. Hopefully not, but that's how usually I'm using it.
You could also just
Yeah, you
put
can
push to talk,
change the decibels if you want to.
and while we're talking, it's not gonna like your mic's technically off. And then if you need to say something, you can press the push to talk, and it'll work like that.
Yeah, and then you can scroll down. There's a echo cancellation, noise reduction. You can activate those if they're not, stuff like that. So it might help as well.
Look at us solving real world problems in
Yeah.
Skyforge
Yep,
discussions.
modern problems require modern solutions.
Hard saying September 4th for PS5.
Oh, okay.
Hey
Okay,
Malix,
what else
welcome welcome to the
about the
stream.
Atlas
Thanks for
node?
joining.
Like you said, the you have to use different classes and not always the same. Because before there was like this one meta class. Before it was Necromancer, then it was Alchemist, then it was Berserker. People got tired of using the same class over and over again. So I do agree, and I wanna mark this for people that this Atlas isn't that bad. It has its flaws, but everything has its flaws. You cannot
Yeah.
expect them to create a perfect game, but the main thing is that you're not going to use the same class over and over again, because that's when the game gets really boring if you have to burst with one class only and stuff. So yeah, that's what I wanted to say actually.
So the Atlas, speaking of Atlas, what they could have done it as well, instead of every new invasion had a different setup classes, just make all of them. For every invasion, you make all of the classes available in the Atlas, but change rotation of the bonuses that it gives. So that way you can play all of the classes if you wanted to. Like squad, I can use, let's say, what we have 18 classes to choose from, right? Just make the some of the classes again like same thing as it is right now. This class is only for the group, this class is for the squad, this class is for the party, distortions and avatar, stuff like that. But make all of the 18 classes available in the Atlas. Just every new invasion rotate different bonuses for maybe different abilities. I don't know, something like that.
That sounds like that definitely sounds like an easy thing that they could implement. Since they're doing the coding every every invasion pretty much they got in a new line of code for that.
I have a really good question from my stream. Person asks, if all classes were removed and you can keep one class, which class will you keep?
Revenant, because it's as interactive as an anime pillow.
Well, in my case, I would probably keep kinetic, but if it would be like in a normal condition that it will deal, not good damage, it was scaled properly, balanced, whatever. I think because kinetic for me, it's actually really fun to play class.
Yep.
But yeah, I would definitely probably keep the kinetic, because all of the fire starters and all those revenants, crew walkers, like they are good, yes, but
Yeah, I agree on kinetic. Kinetic is really fun to play. It's just that you have to use a certain weapon to deal damage because the oceanid weapon, I don't know what purpose it had, but I still don't know. and the mechanoid weapon makes the
It's
class
the best.
stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, I understand why you would pick the class
Uh,
because using the class that are not used makes the game more fun. That's why people want to learn the old classes like monk and archer because they're not used a lot, so the fun factor is higher on playing them. Instead of playing the stupid old fire starter, you can spam your fireballs. You're gonna throw your balls at them. Uh,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
true, Alejandro. It gets
yeah, that
boring
makes
and cheesy to spam
the
the
game
same
also
OP
boring. So I
classes.
would say
Yep.
the game would be more fun and less repetitive if you could use more classes in general.
Yeah. I would have to say the class that I'd probably pick would be Paladin. I really like the the rotations that the Paladin class gets with keeping up your different buffs and being able to have all those things pop up on your screen, right? And then shoot lighting at these things. Now I also have green text telling me to do my 2 attack combo, and then oh now I need to use my shield. And, oh, big damage is coming. I gotta vulnerability this. I think that to me is I think the paladin's a really well put together class.
I agree. I agree on that.
Yeah.
Like, if you add a certain weapon, like the Reaper weapon is really good because per 3 clicks on PC, you can have 20% of your health back, and I think that's really good.
Yeah, they should have also do the kinetic instead of a range class. Well, like weapon for the range damage, they should have make it all damage.
Yeah, like so the all damage weapons are basically sometimes, no, not always, but in some case they outclass the range damage because it's you have this damage debuff kinda if you're staying too close.
Yeah.
Yeah, your damage gets decreased if you stay too close to the boss.
Yeah.
Also, what I miss on kinetic is healing. It's a good class, but I think you can get from the golden symbol from Terra, you can get some sort of healing, but in general, it doesn't have any healing. So if it, I mean, it's basically the how Skyforge was supposed to be because back in the day, Skyforge devs didn't want any healing, but then Sound Reaver came out, etc. But in general, Outlaw and Kinetic and stuff are basically normal classes because they don't have any healing.
No, none of the class symbols for kinetic increasing heals you. The yellow one is it's all about your stacks that you apply on the target. 8 levels stuns the target for 3 seconds. 16 levels increases damage by 50%. 24 levels creates the gravity anomaly.
Sorry, I was wrong. I was confused with Slayer because that gold
For the Slayer?
gives healing. Yeah, that gives healing.
For the Slayer, yeah. Yeah, for the Slayer, yeah.
Okay, but in general, Kinetic doesn't have any healing, and I think that's a problem because you have to heal yourself in some way. Like on Monk, you can use Con and proc 2 Earth nodes, and I think one, I don't know, you can decide whether you want a fire node or an air node to either deal more damage or gain 2 companion charges, but you want to heal on certain moments, on certain occasions, because yeah, you need that healing. Healing is quite important. You don't, and especially when Soundweaver is nerfed, because they help the effect of healing by making 3.0 to 1.5. Healing gets more important for certain classes. Anyway, so we still didn't hear Toxic's opinion on what if you could keep one class of all, what class would you keep?
Yeah.
I think that's a really cool question you could ask yourself.
Now he or she asking if you could nerf one class and buff one class, which one would you nerf and which one would you buff?
Okay. First of all, nerf Firestarter, buff Cryomancer. Please.
I think, like, in
It's
general,
been nerfed over the years. It deserves some attention, some
like,
sort of
I think all of the default classes that's been in the, well, yeah, it's one class buff, one, well, I would definitely, all the classes that are newest one higher, like Firestarter, I would agree, yeah, you're definitely gonna have to not nerf it, but tweak it a little bit, that it's not gonna be that OP that everybody's using Firestarters for almost everything. But
Pickle
yeah,
just was a nerf, dude.
well, it's not a nerf, it's just, I guess, rebalance, if you want to call that way. The nerf when they completely
Rebalancing
decreasing.
is part of nerfing and buffing class.
And there you go, nerf Firestarter and buff which Alejandro's saying. So,
Buff which?
well, since we already start talking about it, right? Okay, I picked the class Kinetic, so definitely gonna have to buff Kinetic, make it, instead of a ranged damage weapon, do the main all damage bonus for the weapon. So that way, if you up close, because you have to be up close because you're using that ability called, what do you call that? When you hold #1 ability, Energy Wave, that it floats the enemies. You up close. When you drop the Gravity Anomaly, you have to be in it to use your free dashes, and you have to be up close with an enemy. So you need all damage. You can't use the range damage as a Kinetic. What the hell? Alejandro laughing at me. Rebalance. But yeah, definitely buff Kinetic, nerf, or I don't fucking know, nerf everybody else. Who cares? Yeah. I
would
think
say-
everybody goes for Firestarter.
Thing
I would
has been
say
torturing
buff.
me over the years it has been existing in PvP. It doesn't. I mean, at least they nerfed the burning of damage, because that burning was annoying as hell when
From
Firestarters were just gonna use burning on you in PvP.
from the passive, the
Yeah, just when you
stacks.
hold your left mouse button, the burning effect.
There you go. Senpai said nerf Outlaw, buff Gunner. Why would you nerf Outlaw? Oh, well, if you're talking about the trick, sure, yes. But if you wouldn't consider the bug, just simply go for, for what it is in general.
I would say nerf. Um, I would say nerf Grove Walker, buff the Knight or the Paladins. Um,
Yeah. Okay.
the reason why I say that is because
Interesting.
Knight on PS4, right, has so many animation bugs. Fixing those bugs would be a direct buff to the Knight. There's so many
Hold up.
so
That
many
will be
bugs
the
that stop you
Knight.
from doing anything on PS4,
Yeah.
and it is the most aggravating thing to deal with. I would definitely main Knight if it wasn't such a buggy class. It would also
I can
just be a
feel
whole
that.
lot better if it wasn't it's in its buggy form, because you just accidentally are stuck running forward, and you can either
Yep.
be in god
Yup.
form and you run straight into the ocean and die, or
Yeah.
not in god form
I
and you just
do
go and
think.
aggro everything and just get killed after. So
Yeah, I do think your opinion on Knight. I have the bugs too, not as much as some people have. Like, I sent so many tickets about battering RAM. If you don't hold it down long enough, you're gonna get stuck, and you have to use a Falcon or Havoc to unstuck yourself. And sometimes you need to do that 2 times. But in
yeah,
general, I think buffing Knight is quite pointless on the DPS side, because tanking, I mean, buffing a tank class on the tanking side is useless, because you don't need to deal damage uh, because it's a tank. As
yeah.
knight, you just need to stay alive. As tank, you need to stay alive. Yeah, I hope you can
Well, I
agree
guess
with
I should
agree.
clarify the buffs don't aren't specifically only buffing their damage. I
Yeah,
would
buffing the
feel like,
shield, buffing the
yeah, buffing the
skills or something.
shield,
I don't know.
maybe just reducing some of the cooldowns of the abilities. Not a direct damage buff or damage nerf. I think personally that Grove Walker gets their ultimates way too soon. Um, because you've got your paladin and knight who have to wait almost 2 minutes for theirs, which makes Grove Walker a more fun class to play because now you're this giant hulking vine monster that kills a bunch of stuff every less than a minute. It takes less than a minute to get it. Make it that way for honestly all the classes. I would really love to see more classes be able to use their ultimates with less of a time.
Integrator weapon is the best weapon right
Some
now.
of the ults are a little busted. Like, I don't want Soundweaver to just be stuck in their ultimate the entire time. But
Yeah, I
you see what I mean.
understand.
Um,
But on
yeah, and
con, you can use your ultimate. You on con, if you have the weapon, you don't have a cooldown. You just need to finish your combo attacks and hope you get an earth sphere, or fire sphere, or air sphere. And depending what spheres you have collected, and if you use your ultimate, the effects that come with the spheres you gain. So for example, if you collect 2 earth spheres, you gain 20% health back. And if you have, for example, 1 air sphere, you restore 2 charges of companion attack. And if you have like 1 fire sphere, you can make the boss 50% more vulnerable. And you can mix up between that. You just need to. I wish there was not a legendary weapon behind it. So if there was like
yeah.
a different class that could use its ultimate, if you, for example, finished your combo attacks and collect something, or just do something that if you finish your combo attacks, there's a chance you gain some sort of buff or effect, or you apply a debuff on the boss, etc.
Senpai actually has a really good point on Groove Walker. He says the reason Groove Walker gets his ulti sooner is because it only gets its defense from that. So it increases your health. You get you get less damage when you're in the form. But compared to as Knight and Pally always have that available. So you always have some kind of invulnerability or shield as a Knight or Paladin more often, for example, in that case than the Groove Walker. So it's not always easy to to get the Groove Walker ultimate that fast because that the passive ability that increasing your energy regeneration. It's not always procs. Yeah, sometimes you can get lucky. You can get like 3, 4, 5 times in a row. But sometimes you can get in a really tough situation, like, oh shit, I still don't have energy because that thing didn't proc. So, and you have to run around and get some other vulnerabilities from like dashing, like a maneuver dodge, stuff like that. So yeah, he actually has a really good point on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Growth Walker weapons don't have the endurance stat, they only have the block stat instead of the paladin and knight weapons, except for easier Might of Heavens,
Yeah.
because that weapon has only endurance and not block. Man, I wish that weapon had block stat, because then it would be so overpowered as a tank. Anyways, yeah, as a tank, you need endurance more than you need block. Like, block is cool when it happens, but in general, you need endurance more often.
Yeah, I think the integrator is the still best weapon,
And
on my
that's
opinion.
on both
Cyrus's blade, I
weapons.
don't have them. I haven't used them, so I can't really actually say it.
Yeah.
But as far as I can see what weapon I'm
What
using,
about you,
integrator
Toxic?
is the best for me.
We haven't heard what class you would rather play, I think, and we also haven't heard what you would buff and nerf. Feel free to jump on in.
Okay.
Nice, I like it.
Yo, that's some powerful message. Yo,
Yeah.
I see some cool players from PC joining your Discord, man. I see Dronex, I see Naughty, I see Alexiana, and others people's. Oh, there's Crazy Pickle. Wait, did he join? Wow.
Oh my gosh! Wait, Crazy Pickle joined my server. What the, dude? What kind of lucky man am I? Sexy boy is gonna
Yes.
join my Discord. Holy, time to make out, dude. Where you at?
I don't know where I'm at.
um. Well, we are reaching sort of, I guess, the end of the podcast here. Um, I guess 2 hours is a pretty decent amount of time to listen to a podcast.
Yeah,
So
and you can edit certain parts out totally
I'm
out
not
of
going to.
context, so you can make
Totally
us
out of
say the game
context,
is
make it
very
sound
good.
like this game is great. There's absolutely no problem with the balance. We can all agree on that, right? Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and close the video here. Thank you so much for joining the discussion, guys. We're gonna be having discussions like this every single week. So feel free to hop into the Discord to join them if you're interested. And thanks for tuning in to the streams. I know Pickles streamed this. I'm streaming as well. I don't know if you stream Neo, but
No, I don't. I stream sometimes on Discord, but not a lot.
okay, all right. Yeah, so feel free to hop into any of our streams and ask us questions, things like that. We're always happy to talk about it and to get different points of view, much like this. Other than that, guys, thanks for everything you do, and I hope to see you guys next week for another weekly discussions video.
All right.
Good one. Okay, well,
Can I
thanks
talk
to
again?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, I actually I do like what I said. Like last podcast, I don't disagree with my statements, but the way I phrased some parts, I even forgot some key statements.
If I had to main one class, which one would it be? It's a really good question. Usually in general, when I'm playing like MMORPGs, other games like that, what I tried, I usually try to play either support class or DPS. It depends on it depends on a game, but since we're talking about the Skyforge, I would still be as a more of a support class. I would probably main Alchemist at all times. It's not as hard to play as that class, but not too easy as well. So that would be probably the one main if I would simply go just for the support class, and would consider just playing with all the time with group of people and just support them at all times. But if I would, for example, go for like DPS classes, even though I would still pick up the Groove Walker as a main, even though it's in a defense category, I would still pick up the Groove Walker for the DPS part.
And Toxic, just so you know, we can't hear you. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah, I thought you were muted or something, but you're not muted on my screen.
Real talk, nice.
Oh, for how long it's already we going?
I think it's really cool that people from EU started to notice your Discord and stuff, and that you're making videos, because I see people moving into your Discord. Also, a person that's returning, and it's like old player and someone that's been playing since the start. I think Dronex lives stronger. I think, but he's playing for a long time. So I hope that is some sort of not a one-time thing, but that keeps going so that your server gets bigger, etc.
Yeah.
Also, we do have a Discord where we have people from Russia translating stuff. So, like, because you're in EU or NA on PC, you're a bit behind on what's happening on Russia.
Mm-hmm.
We have people on Russia translating their patch notes. You know what you can expect. You know.
You don't need to have somebody translate it for you. Just go to the Just go open the browser page, use the Google Translator. Even it's not gonna translate accurately, but if you know the in-game terms for certain abilities, you will understand what it actually means and stuff like that.
Okay, I understand, but there's a difference between Google Translate and the way he translates. He makes wait, I will invite you to this server actually.
I'm doing the same. I'm doing the same thing. I open the patch notes. I translate it with Google Translator, and then I read through it first. And I'm like, okay, well, that translation is wrong because I know the term in game, and then I just can do the proper translations myself because I do speak Russian. So
yeah, I don't.
yeah, like I did the video one time for the update that they had, but then the next day we got it on PC for NA and EU server, but they added actually a little bit more from previous update that the Russian server did actually.
I have no clue what Russia is thinking with this 9 event. With this 9, the upcoming 9 event with the Ripper mount or something, you can get cursed and blessed adept relics, and cursed ones have a minus in some stat.
Yeah, I did talked about that one as well. Yeah, it only gives you the minus stat for the adept, which is kind of like, what's the point of it? Like, mostly people. Yeah, mostly people just don't give a shit about adept stats, you know. At least I don't. So I'm cool with what my adepts bring in. So. But the mount that they bring it in that 9 event is just simply risking of the Gorgonite web mount to the Oceanite one. It's like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah, I think there's some sort of cycle between this. Like you have a VM 9 event, then you have a lot of reskins and other garbage, and then there's one good 9 event. Like the best 9 events we had in a year was vulnerability detector. I hope you can agree on that. Like maybe the black flame artifact can be really good too, but I didn't test it out.
They're both really good. Yes, the both vulnerability detector and black flame really good. The only good, I guess, in depends on the situation. Like right now, for example, since you do have to buff, a little bit earlier, maybe. I mean, it's still manageable to do even with a vulnerability detector anyway. But in general, the situations like that, the black flame it's good on the part that if somebody's flooding by accident or using certain things by accident that put the awareness on people, that way people who has the black flame, they're just not gonna be worried about it.
Yeah, I'm really sad how the game is kinda right now because we lost some people. I think NA does too. Either by just they're gonna leave the game or they're gonna move to EU to my people. But
They
we lost content
Yeah.
creators and stuff because of that.
Yeah,
And I think that's what
they need to do their crossover, like crossplay, whatever you call that thing. That all the platforms can play all together.
Yeah. Crossplay.
yeah, I agree, but Sony and crossplays are not a good combination.
That's actually a myth now. Sony has actually said that we're not going to deal with this stupid console wars thing anymore. They've said that already. The PS5 and the next are probably going to have more crossplay games than their previous versions had. So um, so that's good news. There's going to be a lot more crossplay with the next gen games. I think is actually their main focus. for the next gen stuff is going to be like next gen. All these games are crossplay.
Yeah, but in order for them to do that, to do the crossplay from all the platforms, Xbox and PS4 has to catch up with PC.
Yep,
So,
I agree.
which technically
Otherwise,
may not,
it's crossplay.
gonna happen at all, because
Well, one of
you're
the
still gonna be lagging behind the generation on a gear. Like, what's your generation right now?
Skyforge, yeah.
Like,
We're on Gen 20.
20. We're at 26. Every time new invasion comes in, you go one, we go one. You go one, we. It's always gonna be like one behind. So, like, in order for them to do that, they have to freaking just simply get Xbox and PS4 to the same level than PC. But not a lot of people may like that.
Yeah,
I'm hoping
I
that
mean,
they change
crossplay is
that
a great idea.
the generation things. I think that if they the thing that they can do to fix that problem to actually let the previous the Xbox and PS4 catch up is to make it so that you can select the difficulty of your mission. If we can't select how difficult something is, dependent on what our prestige is or what our rank is, we're never gonna catch up.
True. Also, if you wanted to get scaled to the level of a PC version, you're quite. I think you have 30k might in Cathedral right now. I don't know, so around something like that. Of course, it will get higher when you're gonna use your
Yeah.
pilgrimage permits. You know, the follower fees. But that in general, you're really far behind. So I don't know how they're gonna fix that because if you have max half trophy upgrades, you have around 90k might already on Cathedral, for example.
I mean, to be honest, it doesn't sound any different than the current grind to get to the current gen gear. Just like I don't know. It just sounds
For you guys on consoles, it's easier to do. So, for example, I wanted to do the test that part on PC, but since I was doing the seasonal, I had to upgrade my gear to Gen 26. What I was planning to do is at least for invasions like Reapers, Fight Knights, Mechanoids, what's the other one? Oceanites. So those four invasions that's not as hard to do. They're not really crazy. Keep the generation, let's say, like right now, right? I upgraded to Gen 26. For example, next invasion will be, let's say, Oceanite. So I'm like, why the hell not? I'm not gonna upgrade my gear. I can stick with Gen 26. I'll still be good. Obviously, it depends on your strength, the entire progress of your character. In my case, if I'm maxed, obviously I don't have to really, I will see the difference, but it's not gonna be huge difference for me. Yes, I maybe like a little bit, couple of million damage here and there, but I will still be in a pretty good spot. And that's what I was thinking, that like, okay, I'm gonna stick with Gen 26. I will skip one invasion. For example, it's Oceanite or Fighter Knights. I'll skip that. I'm not gonna upgrade it. I will see how the next invasion is gonna go for me. If I will see that I'm gonna have troubles, I'm gonna lack a lot of damage, and maybe I will receive a lot of damage, stuff like that, then maybe I'm like, okay, maybe I'll have to consider and start upgrading my gear to Gen 28, for example, right? So I already skipped one invasion. But so my test is to how many invasions I can skip for my current progress, since I'm maxed and I have pretty much everything that I need, and just see how many invasions I can skip. My prediction that I can skip 2 invasions, but it only depends if those are invasions: Reapers, Fighter Knights, Oceanites, or Mechanoids. If it's a Gorgonite, you may be at least one generation behind. For example, Gorgonite is going to be 27. I might still be able to do a really good with Gen 26. So I can pretty much skip the Gorgonites with just Gen 26, save up a lot of credits. That way when Demon comes in, I'm like, okay, I have shitloads of credits. I can upgrade to Gen 28. So something like that.
Yeah, I think that's true.
And for you guys on consoles, in consoles it's really easy, because right now for you everything is not that crazy. So and if you see that you like flying through the content, easily with even sweating, maybe you have some hiccups here and there, but you can still skip at least one invasion, and then just do the basic daily stuff, farm credits, knowledge of enemies, prepare for the next invasion. And for 2 months you can get a lot of resources if you play it daily.
Yeah. Yeah, when I re-downloaded it a couple weeks ago, my highest gen gear that I was using was from Gen. It's like Gen 15. So from Gen 15, I've jumped up to my rank was, I think it was 192. When
Mm-hmm.
I stopped playing, the max rank was around 250, and that's jumped up since then all the way up to like 320 or something like that. So I think each gen will bring in. What do you think? How much more? Like 15 more rank?
Well, I guess well, in your case I don't really know, but compared to like Gen 25 and Gen 26 differences, for example, so Gen 26 is 60,000 might, Gen 25 is 55, so you only get like 5-6,000 mites from each piece.
Okay.
So yeah, like Kevin just said, you kind of can,
31K might pretty much from.
because the max past generation is 20-25% of the new invasion, so you can definitely skip one, like maybe 2 invasions. It depends on which kind of invasion it is.
Yeah.
True. Also, like I'm 318 right now, but my gear is 3 generations behind still. Like I need to update it one time, but like I mentioned before, I will come back in demons or gorgonites. I don't know. High likely demons for sure, because you gotta represent there.
Well,
You cannot start. You cannot not play in demons because demons is some sort of important.
yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking depends on, especially with my team that we're running, as I already said, that we do have sometimes getting in troubles and we cannot complete for a long time and spend a lot of hours. But I'm not sure how often I'm gonna play during demons. Depends. I'm definitely gonna try to do at least all 4 distortions. I don't think I will waste my time for doing Nihas, because that thing I never.
Oh, my boy
Yeah,
D has.
yeah, I never spend a lot of times. I know the only 2 times I think I completed Nihas, or 1 time, I don't remember. But I wasn't. I was only invited when they already got all of the symbols. So I didn't do all that symbol bullshit stuff.
Yeah, I think for Nias you have to practice 2 days. I think,
Check
and
your
then
settings. Make sure your mic is connected.
wait, what?
He's talking to Toxic, I believe. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've got toxic in the game.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah,
Um,
like I said, I think you need 2 days practice, so you gotta
check your
understand the
settings. Just
mechanics
make sure that
because
it doesn't
Nihas
automatically.
Java is different from training avatar,
Yeah.
kinda. You
Well,
have
it's a.
extra mechanics,
Yep.
extra symbols in the bubble phase, and or whatever symbol phase, how you want to call it, and yeah, I
It
think it requires a lot of practice,
it's
especially with
just.
new people.
Well, yeah. If the people who doesn't like know the whole mechanic part, then yes. But if, let's say, if you go with a team who knows it, it only time consuming to get all of the symbols um, for to follow the mechanics. So that's the only part that consuming time. And obviously you have to spend some time. We already got all of the symbols, just follow the step by step, and then obviously from that time you're not gonna really know who's gonna be a god, because it's more portals there. Everybody has to go through. Somebody's gonna get it anyway, and if the person gets somebody get it that it's not even supposed to be God, or at least you wouldn't think about it, like, okay, maybe it's a fucking light binder, I don't know. You just got that one, and then you have to break the shield, kill the ads and all that stuff. So you have to consider all of that.
If you have two tanks or something, I don't know, one paladin, one knight, and I think having two knights in the has isn't some sort of privilege. I think it's needed to have two tanks. Just one that's for the boss, and maybe one for the satellites, and one just for the if the knight doesn't pay attention.
Well, you still need two tanks there anyway.
Yeah.
To switch between the symbols between the tanks. So
True.
I think there is, like, obviously during phases, like when there's a bunch of ads and stuff or satellites, the tank that is not, it's just waiting until the next first tank, for example, tell him, okay, let's switch, stuff like that. That tank can take the satellite if needed, but I think usually those satellites dies really fast anyway if people know what to do. Yeah,
Russia did most DPS as Zerg. I thought that was really weird, to be honest. They did all DDs as Zerg.
Yeah,
Soundweaver was better, and Zerg wasn't nerfed yet anyways. Yeah, we had people commenting on our content creator that quit actually, but he did one revisit in Demons, and there was people from Russia hating on him and saying that they either need to use Firestarter or Zerg.
yes, you can stay.
Firing back with.
They have certain time to respond.
Is not a melee instance; it's more like a ranked map. And I do understand that, and he doesn't even have Firestarter because he doesn't care. He uninstalled anyways. But yeah, I think Russia is some sort of weird part because they have some sort of, they want to judge about other platforms or other regions and stuff. And I think the way they judge sometimes is quite stupid. Because let's be honest, do you want to do with your team a full, well, not everyone Zerg, but all DDs Zerg F2 with the fireballs and stuff? I think not. I think you want to use Necromancer or Firestarter.
Yeah, I think you have to just utilize all the good classes that will help. I mean, obviously everybody's doing what's easy for them. So if they're doing that way and they completing that stuff easily, then they can do it. So it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
Because I want to hop off here. I'm gonna go get some food. I'm hungry.
Yeah, I'm gonna streaming already for a little bit over 2 hours, so I'm just gonna end the stream. Maybe I will stream later. I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I wanted to play some FPS game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna.
I hope they nerf Outlaw for F4 because you're not gonna use Necromancer in. I mean F3. Sorry, the Astral Twins. Because because Necromancer pets can get poisoned and stuff, and in general Cryomancer and Outlaw are okay in that instance. But I hope they nerf. And loop some killer around and then get cursed at because I'm toxic for teabagging on the infinite. Yeah, I've got reported for teabagging, and I'm not supposed to teabag, but sometimes it happens. recorded.
Alright, guys. If you guys
There
have
you go.
any suggestion for what next week's topic should be, just let me know.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna spend a couple days to think about
Okay,
it.
I will have to think about that.
You know what? Next time, just make a list things what we're gonna talk about. Maybe pick 3 or whatever, 2, 3 things, and then we're just gonna focus on that part. So we're not going over off topic, you know, and just talking about some other bullshit.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good
Yeah.
idea. Alright, I'll put a list together then. We'll cover the list.
Alright guys, I'm gonna end the stream right now. So thanks for everyone who's joining in. Really appreciate it. So if you don't have the Discord servers for Skyforge, there is all the links you can find in the description, guys. Join in. You can join my server as well. If you want to contact me directly or ask questions there's some people actually use answering and helping out people, so stuff like that. So thanks again for joining. As always, don't forget to subscribe if you didn't subscribe it yet, so do that too. And until the next time, guys, take care.
The left clicks, not skull through, but no, not skull throw. Man, I keep forgetting these terms. Anyways, I will see you around.
See ya.